Our Good afternoon. This is the host, Michelle Padilla, and we are back from a little hiatus. And I have a special guest with me, Jeff Newton. He's going to tell us what he does. So, Jeff, what do you do and why do you like doing it?
All right. Good afternoon, Michelle. Thanks for having me. Well, my current role right now is I'm the Chief Deputy of Operations with the California Geological Survey, and it's within the Department of Conservation. I like what I do because I'm able to help solve problems and find solutions to provide and allow our scientists to get the work that they need to get done for the people of California. It's just a great job in a great division.
And do you like the people that you're working with? Do you have a lot of fun?
Absolutely. I have a great, passionate group of scientists and non-scientists as well. And they absolutely do amazing work. They love what they do, which is really easy for me to support what they do because of that. So yeah, it's a good group of individuals.
So, what made you decide to get into this field and why?
Well, I've been with the department for about, no, shoot, maybe 10 or 11 years now. And really, most of my experience is in leadership and operations. And so when this role came up, I had several conversations with people within the department, the director at the time, and just thought that this was a good transition for me to be able to continue my path of my career as well as in support in stay in the department too, because I really love the department and the mission of this Department of Conservation.
Um, I don't know if you know how we got started from the Awareness show. So we've been doing podcasting for 11 years. We started in 2013 when it first started coming out. And in fact, at Cal State Dominguez, and we were in a dungeon. We call it a dungeon because we had no internet service, kind of like here, sort of. So, anyway, so my dad was my big supporter. So he would tell me to say something, you know, text, and we had no internet service. So he was sitting there trying to say, hey, say something. Well, we started it because I got diagnosed with a rare syndrome called 22q11, and it's the second most common Down syndrome. And you have over 200 symptoms. You have congenital heart defect, learning disabilities, and teeth issues. And each person that has it has their own unique skills. And so once I got diagnosed, I said, I don't know how to advocate for this because I don't know anything about it. It is genetic. Um, what might have caused this, we're not sure. But you know the story about Camp Lejeune.
Mhm.
And so my grandpa at the time was stationed at Camp Lejeune in the 50s. So they were drinking the water. So maybe it might be an environmental issue. We don't know. So that's one of the reasons why we started doing this podcasting, and it grew. So our podcasting is all over the world now, as you can see. So we created this to make more people aware about resources, disability awareness, and other type of resources that are available to those that don't know it. And for me, I lived in LA, love LA, don't get me wrong. But I always got turned down and said no services. When I came up here, I got my opportunity to work with Department Rehab, and I got my job from Department here. So the goal is to give back to the community and find out, like, get more resources from you, Jeb, and other people who have disabilities, who have learning disabilities that don't know about department conservation, and make it grow so that they know about earthquakes, fires and all that stuff. I didn't know what you guys did when I first came here. So I had no clue what you guys did. So I'm learning as I go along. Um, you know, Jeff, do you have any hobbies that you do off, like when you're not work?
When I'm not working, I do. I, I I do a lot of running and cycling as well. I try to stay as fit as possible. As I get older, it becomes more hard to stay fit, and it doesn't feel as good, and it hurts at times. But I do a lot of that. I also I have a daughter in college, so I do kind of chase her around when I can see her. I recently have purchased an Airstream trailer, And
Nice.
so I've been doing a lot of travels probably the last year and a half. We got it in I believe June of last year, 2022, and so we've tried to take advantage of that as much as possible.
And I heard you're a baseball fan too. So who's your favorite team?
Well, this I was hoping you wouldn't go to this subject, because my favorite team is the Giants, and
Yes.
I'm well aware that you're a Dodger fan, and despite that, I agreed to come on to this show. Um,
My mom wanted me to wear the Dodger shirt today. I said, no, I don't think that will be appropriate today.
yeah, I
So,
probably shouldn't even worn a blue shirt actually. So
see, we talk about that. And one of the reasons why you talk about it is because of Ryan Dempster. He is a former baseball pitcher, and he's now, I think, an office manager for the Boston Red Sox. So he formed a foundation, 22Q Family Foundation. And so again, a lot of good kids and adults who have it. And one of the people always ask me who are my influences of radio podcasters. Me being, 70s and growing up, I had Vince Scully. Oh man, you can hear that story from miles away. He's a good storyteller, as you know that. Then I had Chuck Kern, again, LA. Rick Dames was another one. Casey Kasem.
yeah.
What was the other one? I went to say Look Mad Jack. I'm going way back.
So yeah, but this is the same era. I remember all of those guys, and Vince Scully was a favorite of mine.
And then another one, Gary Bryan from KRS 101.
Mhm.
They always listen to the show, so we get a lot of feedback from them. But like my dad and I, we would listen to the radio. There's Vince telling us a story like it, no, and so it got me to thinking maybe I could be like him. So that was one of my influences. And so again, we talk about baseball and we talk about softball. They just had their little leagues. You heard about the little leagues going on right now. So we want to say congratulations to the Elsa Little League. They really did really good.
It's a
So,
fantastic game too.
oh, you saw it. I
Yes,
didn't get to see that.
absolutely.
So, and then I was talking about that, and then we were talking about what is it? Hurricane Hillary.
Mhm.
That was the first time they ever witnessed a tropical hurricane in LA. And my friends back in LA, they said we never seen anything like it. It was crazy. So how do you guys prepare something like that? I know you guys do like earthquakes and tsunamis. How do you get prepared for that?
Well, particularly with the hurricane, there's very few good things that come out of a hurricane, but one of the things that is you get the benefit of actually having knowing when it's coming and having an idea of when it's coming, and so you get advance notice. Unlike an earthquake, it just happens, and so you're less likely to be able to prepare for the immediacy of an earthquake. The goal with earthquakes and such is that you don't necessarily know when they're coming, but you can prepare in advance
Yeah.
for the earthquake, and so that's what we try to do and encourage people. And some of our primary product in the geological survey are mapping products, and it's really to really showcase some of the hazards that are existing in California, like earthquakes and landslides and post-fire debris flows and things like that. That really our maps will tsunami areas. Our maps will help educate Californians of the risks that they may be living near or on, so they can better prepare. And so it's really a communication piece up front.
And we just had an earthquake just a little while ago in Shasta. It was
Yeah, a couple hours
5.0.
ago.
So
Yep, yep. And during the tropical storm Hillary, there was a 5.0 in the Ojai area. So
oh yeah.
they come at any time, and it's been a whirlwind of a year so far with the early winter storms from January to March, and caused a lot of problems and landslides throughout the state of California.
And that's what you guys basically work on is landslides too and sinkholes, which I found out I didn't know you guys did sinkholes, so that was kind of interesting. So
Yeah, anything that has to do with the geology of California, we're going to be involved in. Whether it's, we do a lot of geologic mapping, which are our base maps that really the other programs within the CGS used to then determine what the minerals are of the area, what possible mineral hazards are in the area, and then all of our maps related to the seismic hazard maps like liquefaction and landslide, all of that. And then, our most recent program is a burned watershed geology geohazard program, and this is really focused on after fire. When the rains come, there's the hillside that are burned, depending on the severity of the burn and the amount of rainfall, are more susceptible to flash flooding, debris flows, and slides as well. So it's a lot going on in California.
Now, are you guys keeping an eye on tropical Lee right now, or not too much?
On the East Coast,
Yeah,
or
East
no?
Coast.
Yeah, I mean, just out of interest, but yeah, we won't be dealing with that certainly.
I know you guys did that. What about the Gulf of Mexico? I know it's like close to California, but not really.
Yeah, that's still going to be. We're only going to be focused on areas within California that could hit, could be hit with any kind of storm or post fire issues.
Yeah, see, my mom's always texting me, "Where's the earthquake? Where's the fire? We see it. Where is it?" And I'm telling people, I says, "Where I'm located, I can see a fire. I look up there. Oh, there's a fire. Up there's a fire. We just had one recently over by Cindy's desk.
Yeah.
Went up, and so it's very interesting to see how you guys mapping, because I'm like, I didn't know anything about that. And so I'm learning. And Cindy, she's one of our geologists. She took me to a rock and mineral show here for the first time. So I was kind of excited about that. And so I'm learning as I go along. And so science is like, I like it. And I was telling Cindy the very first time I took geology, he says, bring out your phones, take a pictures of the rocks, put it on your phone. That's how you're going to memorize for your test.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't been in school for a lot of years, and I'm like, that's a new technology. Okay, we'll go for that. So, what do you tell your, okay, so the next question is, how do you tell your future interns or students who want to be geologists, how do you get their foot in the door, basically?
Well, I think the most important thing of anybody, whether you're a scientist or non-scientist, in terms of trying to get a job with the state or anywhere, is to really, I would recommend getting a mentor. And there's two parts to this. There's the mentor of really understanding, the professional life
Yeah,
and understanding business or an organization. But the second piece of that, particularly as it relates to government jobs, is being able to help someone navigate the complexities of the civil service exam process and understanding how to get a job, because the exam is just one piece of the job. The next piece, and sometimes the most challenging piece, is for people to understand and try to articulate their experience on the application to so they can get an interview. And
yeah.
there's pieces to that I think can be complex. And so having a mentor, preferably within government, to help navigate that will be pay off in dividends far, far, far over the time.
Yeah, I agree. And then also for me, they told us to have internships.
Mm-hmm.
So in my field, I work in human services, which is the health services, and we had to have 3 internships. So I don't know for the scientists how many internships you guys have to have, but we had to have 3. So, and the very first internship I ever had was at Cal State Dominguez, and I had to pass out condoms to students. It was health education, so yeah. So we had a blast about that. And a lot of people don't know where to go for internships. That's where they're falling. Even with people with disabilities, they don't know how to get them. So what is your advice on that?
Well, definitely is go out and you find somebody that you need to meet, and then you try to schedule some time with them, and then kind of showcase what those skills might be and how you might be able to help the organization. We actually also use an outfit for our student hires called University Enterprises. And this is an organization that actually is out of Sac State, but it actually encompasses all I think every single UC and state school in California, and actually beyond California, in the local states around California, as well as some private universities, to give us an avenue to be able to hire students quickly and efficiently so we can get people on board so they can gain some of their experience as well.
So for those that struggle for disabilities, what do you recommend for them as well? Same thing, or do you get the extra help?
Definitely work with the advisors at the academic institutions that they're attending. They're going to be the best resource for anyone, whether having a disability or not, is a starting point, and then they will be able to uh, help patch them into an organization that can really suit and be a win-win situation for both.
Now, do you have find anything that you least like your job, or everything's fine?
What do I least like my job? It seems the natural disasters, I think, is the part of the job that I like. See, I'm a non-scientist. I don't come from the science background. I'm in operations, but even though when there's a natural disaster or just that earthquake 2 hours ago, I'm having to kind of shift focus from what I was doing. And Fridays are a really important time for me because it's a day that I try not to have meetings. And it allows me to get a lot of work done on Fridays, where the rest of the week I'm booked in meetings. And so when there's an earthquake on the weekend or on a Friday or anytime, I have to stop, shift what I'm doing, and help
And yeah.
facilitate any communication with that.
Now, believe it or not, Jeff, we invented a sleep day.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at Cal State meetings and thinking, what do you do for on your off day? I go, I sleep. I like to sleep. And they, oh, you should make that a holiday. Somebody took my idea. So there you go. I like to spend time with my friends, and then I try to edit videos as much as I can and get some guests on. Recently, as you know, my dad just passed away.
Yeah.
And so it's been a little struggle getting back into the podcast because we moved from Los Angeles to here. So that was a big adjustment, and trying to find doctors and trying to settle in.
Yeah.
And so they were asking me when I'm coming back on the show. I'm like, give me time, let me settle in. It takes time. Now it's just me and my mom, and doing the best we can, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be here at work 5 days a week. So
Yeah.
and they're like, wow, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm just, yep, I get here. So, but I have made a lot of nice friends here. Cindy, she's working on her event right now, and
Yep.
she's telling me she's getting prepared for 2 weeks. So she's getting a little stressed, not stressed out, but frustrated. But the science thing, we had that here, and people didn't know what that was, and so that's where the awareness show comes in. For
Mm-hmm.
those that don't know it, we tell them about the events that are happening around. So if you see me sticking my nose downstairs finding out stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? Hey, what's up? That's what I do. And then I let you guys know so you guys are aware of what's going on. And so it's interesting. I love doing podcasting. I didn't think I would be good at it. My mom, I love her to death. She's overprotected of me because of all my medical problems. She didn't think I could handle the radio show. She didn't think I could handle Cal State meetings, get my degree. So I had to show her. But she goes, each time you show me, and it's like, keep doing what you're doing. That's where my dad is the one that's telling me you can do it. So I can still hear him saying do it and not be lazy.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm an only child. So and then I have 3 dogs on top of that. So when I get home, I take care of I have 3 golden retrievers.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you have 3 puppies essentially because they never grow up.
Very true. And they're all pretty much stubborn. Every single one of them. But we love them to death. And the oldest is 10 years old. And then we have a 7-year-old, and then we have a 1-year-old. So,
Ah, oh,
so if you see me on Monday, you're asking me, what's going on? Why are you so tired?
you're tired.
I love what I do. And like I said, for those that want to have more resources, where can they reach you? Where can they get more information?
Well, they can email me excuse me, they can email me directly, and my email address is jeff.newton@conservation.ca.gov, and that's Newton spelled Newton. So absolutely, they can send me an email anytime. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that I can. Although I can't answer science questions because I'm not the scientist, but I can certainly answer other questions.
Now, do you guys have a YouTube channel where they can look for all this wonderful stuff?
We don't have a YouTube channel. We do have a Twitter, and I am going to blank on the actual address to the Twitter, but you can actually find that on the conservation.ca.gov website. If you go to the different divisions and just select geology, you're going to be able to find the information regarding the CGS, and then other ways of avenues that we communicate and try to get our message out.
See, for me, I'm all over social media, so you can find me anywhere. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for years and years and years, and one of the things I like is like, how do you get people onto the show? So I have this wonderful guy named Harlan B. Wall, and he works with 36 different celebrities. So we've had Marion Ross, we've had Dean Wallace, we've had the late Don Waltz on the show, Loretta Swift, and all these people come onto the show. And then we had Richard Carr from Home Improvement come onto the show. Each person have different causes that they like to have, whether it's promoting cancer or a book, and we just recently had Hanson Williams on the show. Remember Hanson Williams?
Remind me of Hanson Williams.
Potsy from Happy Days.
Yes.
So it was funny because, like I said, I had to take geology and biology, and one of the things that we had to learn was the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So Potsy had the heart song that helped me keep remembering. I'm like, hey, okay, there you go. So for me, I look for different songs that help me memorize. Do you guys have like rock songs or earthquake songs?
No, not directly, but I will say that one of the fun things that the CGS does is when there's a retirement, and somebody retires, because people don't leave the CGS, they retire from the CGS. There is a group of engineering geologists that takes a song, a popular song, and that they will rewrite the words to that song to reflect the memories of and the person that's retiring, and sing that song to them at their retirement.
Well, that's kind of cool. Kind of like
It's
that.
really
It's
fun.
original.
It is very original, and the songs are just great. And so yeah, it's a good group that has a lot of fun.
Well, how many staff are in CGS?
So we've been growing a lot. So since I've been there in 5 years, we have gone from 114 staff to we are now at 151 staff.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot for an organization to grow that size in that short amount of time.
And you guys are still hiring, so which is a good thing.
We're still hiring, and we hopefully will continue to grow, and I don't see that slowing down. Hopefully it'll slow down a little bit, but we'll still be growing.
So all those college students out there for listening, head up the Department of Conservation, look them up, and I know they're doing the contract right now, and that last day for voting is today, so get out there and vote. So and then the SAG, we support the SAG strike going on. So a lot of things that they don't know about us, we support all departments, all wildlife, everything, and that's why we try to get more people to come back onto the show. And Jeff, we have a couple of surprises in our way, but we're not revealing anytime soon. But I will show you next time you come in.
Okay.
But I was told under my advisement, graphic designer, Maxie, she said, do not post it until you get it in your hands. So that's her thing. And I get a lot of compliments on my logo. I don't know if you've seen my logo.
Yeah.
So
it looks like an album, right?
It is an album.
Okay.
With the chromosome.
Yep.
So people didn't know what it was at first. So they're like, what is that? What? So we had to explain what 22q11 is.
Right.
And recently, Jimmy Buffett just died of a rare cell cancer called Merkel. So I have to look at him, find out what's going on. And then it's like all the, so I'm part of an organization called Global Genes, and it has over 7,000 rare diseases which nobody knows about. And
Right.
so that's how a lot of people find out about Merkel. They find out about other cancers, new cancers. And then we have this new variant that's coming out. So, that's on the rise. So, again, the Awareness Show wants to make sure that you guys get your vaccination going on, because there is a new variant going on. And I heard there's a possibility that masks might be mandated again because COVID is on the rise again. So please make sure you guys are safe. And fires, same thing. If you smell smoke, okay, so Jeff, if they smell smoke, who do they report it to?
Well, I guess it would depend on where they're at, but they should probably call 911 if it's a concern to them.
Not like the wildfire or anything like that. They could call wildfire or Cal.
Yeah, it would if in the case of a fire that's not a controlled burn, then 911 should be called.
So Jeff, does what else am I going to say? Do you listen to any type of music? Do you like any type of music?
I like a lot of different types of music, and so currently what I'm listening to is and I'll just basically have Pandora play me an Americana station. So it's kind of a mix between, it's got a little country in it, but it's got a little folk music, in some kind of classical rock music or southern rock music is kind of the genre that I've been listening to the most right now. But when I'm on my bike riding on the river, sometimes I listen to 90s hip hop. Other
There you
times
go.
I'll listen to, like Chris Cornell or group hard rock. So it's just really all over the place for
You like,
me.
yep, you like me. I like a little bit of everything. I'm passionate to ACDC. I love
Yeah,
ACDC.
love
Uh,
love love them.
it's
My
another one
favorite
I.
all-time group is Rush, so I'm a big
Oh,
Rush
okay.
fan.
Um, Beatles for me. I grew up with the Beatles. We had Breakfast with the Beatles. Cairns 101 again.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember Charlie Tuna. Cairns
I
101.
don't. Okay, no.
I got to meet him. He was very good.
Okay,
Um, let's see, Joe Jet, another
yeah.
one, classic. Let's see. There's another one I'm trying to think of. Now I can't blank out. Um, Reaper. There you go.
Oh yeah, Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner.
Yes, I'm a big Leonard Skinner fan.
Have you seen him live? They're
I
actually,
have not seen them live. My
yes.
last concert was, boy, what was it? Um, we went to Red Rocks and saw the Avett Brothers last year, I think.
My dad took me to go see ZZ Top,
Okay.
Eagles, Little
Nah.
Philly. So I'm like I said, music that's from my dad's side. My mom's be like, "Who's that?" I don't know. And speaking of hip hop, we were listening to TLC. She's like, "Who's
Yeah.
that?" I don't know who that
Yep.
is.
That was back in the 80s.
No, 90s.
Were they 90s or were they
Yes,
late 80s?
late 80s. Yes.
Yeah.
TLC, yes. And
Yeah.
then I had a privilege to work with Run DMC. I get
Oh,
to hang out
yes.
with them.
Love
Yes.
Run DMC.
Yeah. So he listens to our podcast all the time. So another cool
Awesome.
guy. Yeah. So it's weird. They're like, "Oh, you like a variety." I'm like, "Yes, I like a variety of different things."
That's
And
great.
so, it's just when I'm at work, I put music on, I put on classic rock or whatever, and then, just see what I can do. And then it's just it helps you release the stress. It just
Yeah.
makes you relax, get your troubles away. And then when I come home, I like to watch all classic television shows. I Love Lucy, Alice, I'm a big fan of classic television shows. Not so much in the new shows, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
And what about like um, like Three's Company and Happy Days and all of those shows? Okay,
yep.
great.
I grew up on that. So
Yep,
being
so did I.
being that, and we're and having the chance to interview Marion Ross, I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, this was so cool. And I actually got to interview one of my favorite movie characters of all time, Annie. She
Well,
was on the show. Her name was Piper, and she was just
yep.
yeah. So, and my mom's like, "Damn you! How do you get these people to come on your show?" I reach out to them; they come on to my show. And then one of my favorite comedians is Bobby Collins.
Hmm.
He's got a daughter who has special needs, and they have a camp called Zeno Camp. And so when the fires hit, they were up there having some difficulties because of the fires, because some people have asthma and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of, a hard time with that. But again, all these people, they come to the show, they talk about the resources and cancer, they talk about heart disease and all the other stuff and the variants of cancer, COVID. And so COVID is out there, you guys. Make sure you guys are just maxed up. And then, please get to know about Department of Conservation, California Geology Survey, and all the events that they do. They do a lot of
Yeah.
events here. So what about Southern California? Do they do a lot of events there?
Yeah, they're actually going to be down at the National or the California State Science Teachers Association meeting down in Palm Springs, which I think is in October. So we do a lot of events across the state like that.
What, how far do you guys go? Do you guys go to Nevada or no?
Yeah, we have meetings. We do a lot of conferences and meetings because that's where scientists generate their and build their relationships and collaborations are in these meetings. And so we have people we've had people go to Europe. Uh, Most recently, one of our program managers went over to Japan
Wow.
because he was asked to go over there. And so we go all over the place. But Nevada's popular. We've got a group of people going to a meeting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which I'm a Steeler fan. So go Steelers. And so we're all over the place, but we do obviously a lot of educational things within California because that's our focus.
See, I kind of like that. And then that's another reason why, because a lot of people don't know what you guys are. And that's how we bring you guys out. So when
Yeah,
like I said, they go, what is Department of Conservation? And so they start Googling it and,
yeah,
oh, so a lot of people are now learning more about Department of Conservation because of the awareness show and people like you bringing it out, bringing it more resources to them. So that's one of the things my goal is to bring out more resources for them so they can understand who you guys are
yeah,
and what the state offers. They don't know what the state offers because they never had the chance to. So it opened up the door for many avenues. And tomorrow I have another guest coming onto the show. Believe it or not, you might like this one. He does voices of Star Trek animation.
no, awesome.
Yes,
Can't wait to watch that one.
yes. His name is Steven Jarcone. So he's actually I don't quote me on this. I have to look up my file, but yeah, he does voices for Star Trek animation. And again, I have another one coming out in the 25th. And then I have another one on the 29th. So we're coming back slowly. And then September 20th is International Podcast Day.
Oh, excellent.
So I don't know if you guys know, but before we used to do these crazy holidays and, they get free donuts and stuff like that. And so we look on, there's a site I'm going to give you. It's called free holiday site, and it tells you everything you want to know about where you could get your, what if it's chocolate cake day
Yeah,
or if it's free napping day or whatever. I'll send you the link. But we had a blast doing that. So really quick, we're almost done, but I want to give a shout out to my team. Maxie, she's our graphic designer. She just got back from San Diego Comic-Con. She's dead
ah,
tired. Ruben, he's my business partner and music engineer. He's a computer guy as well. And Miss Jackie, she's my co-host, but right now she's traveling and doing tours. So, Jeffy, would you like to have anything else added to this?
I have two questions for you, Michelle.
Okay.
Who is your all-time favorite Dodger?
Oh no, Steve Garvey.
Okay, all right. Steve Garvey. All right. And then this second question could be a little tougher. Who is your all-time favorite Giant?
Can I say Daryl Strawberry?
He was a Giant. You can. I guess he was a Giant for a year, I think.
That's the only
Okay.
one I know of, to be honest.
Out of all those, and you only know Daryl Strawberry. Uh, all right.
Hey, see, you got me there. See? Okay, guys, this is the Awarness show. I hope you have a great afternoon. Jeff, thank you for being a great guest. And we have 4 minutes left. So again, follow us on iTunes, Twitter, well, not Twitter, iTunes, Instagram, podcasts, any social media. We're on there, and we're going to be revealing our store shortly, and with a few surprises here and there. So stay tuned for our next guest tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. So stay tuned. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Bye.
Michelle. It was great talking with you.
Thank
See you.
you.